I'm Dan Murphy, and I'm here to preview the special town meeting for the town of Sherborn, and I am here with a guest to discuss what's going to happen here. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Dan. My name's George Morrill. I'm chairman of the Sherborn Advisory Committee. Today, just here to discuss, as Dan said, the special town meeting that's going to be held on October 24th at 7 p.m. at Linquist Commons at Dover Sherborn High School.
Okay, great. So I guess as the first question, the obvious question is, usually town meetings take place in the spring. So what's the reasoning behind this special town meeting to take place this October?
The special town meeting is called mainly because there were two citizens petitions filed with the town, Article 3 and Article 4. Article 3 is an article to expand the Board of Health from 3 to 5 members, and Article 4 was another citizens petition to establish minimum qualifications for the Board of Health. And since citizens petitions had been filed, you have to have a town meeting within a certain amount of time. So once the town meeting was called, there were additional articles added to the town meeting.
Okay, great. So I guess without any further ado, let's get into the articles for the town meeting. So how many articles are there on this?
There's 4.
Yeah. So that's what I believe. But so let's just start with Article 1 and what that pertains to.
Article 1 is a article that's typically on the spring town meeting. It's an article to pay any unpaid bills that came in after the end of the fiscal year, which ends June 30th. So there still might be a few bills that linger on past that are technically to be paid from the year before, and that has to be approved at town meeting. So the first articles to pay 3 unpaid bills totaling $5,679.34. All are related to bills from the CM&D department. That it's a very standard bill.
Yeah. I guess I'm assuming that advisory recommends that we pay these bills.
Sorry, we voted 8-0 to in favor of passing this article.
Yeah. Okay. And then let's move on to Article 2.
Article 2 is an article to see if the town will vote to allow the fire chief to require third-party reviews and related services for fire protection to be paid for by the applicant. Right now, the fire chief does all those inspections. This would allow him to hire a third party, which is very typical in many other towns, and it also takes the cost away from the town and puts it back on the applicant, which is also very typical in other towns. Advisory voted again 8-0 to support this article. It's changing a simple bylaw that will help us.
Okay, and then let's move on to the two citizens' petitions. First is Article 3.
Yes, Article 3 was brought about by a group of citizens to see if the town will vote to increase the number of members of the Board of Health from 3 to 5. This article, first advisory voted to support this article 8-0. The article seeks to increase the Board of Health, but it will be 1 member per year per the statute. So there'll be 1 member. If this passes, 1 member will be elected in May of 2017. A second member would be elected in May of 2018 to increase the size. We recommended it just because we felt the Board of Health is a very important part. They do a great job for the town of Sherborn, and we feel like more citizen participation would help them to get even more work done, because as a 3-member board, it can be hard to get a quorum, and it can also be hard to do any work groups outside of the public meetings, if any work groups or anything like that, because with a 3-member board, if 2 people are present, it's considered a quorum, and if it's not held in a public setting, they can't really get anything done outside of a public setting.
Right, and I'm sure there will be much discussion of this and the other petition to get into some of the whether or not there's been issues regarding this, and kind of how other towns whether or not they have 3 or 5 person boards. But if you want to have a comment or two on that.
I think at our public hearing there were some comments regarding this. I mean, there is a number of people who support it, and we had a number of people who did not support it. We had public comments on both sides. the reason we decided to support it is we do feel one comparable town that I remember from the public hearing that people mentioned was Carlisle, which is a similar town in size to Sherborn and also has all private wells and private septics. They have a Board of Health of 5 people, so it just seemed like a logical comparison.
Yeah, right. I forgot about the public wells and septics. Obviously, would add to the workload of the Board of Health. Let's move on to Article 4, which also deals with the Board of Health and what that pertains to.
Absolutely. This is an article, again, by a group of citizens they wanted to establish qualifications to serve on the Board of Health. Advisory voted 8-0 to take no action on this article. We feel that the democratic way it's as an elected position, it should be decided by the citizens, not by a minimum qualifications that are set by the Board of Health or anybody else.
Okay. And I guess as we're coming in from advisory hearing that was also dealing with some other issues. Maybe we talk briefly about that.
Yeah. Within our town meeting, we're going to have an additional special town meeting on October 24th that was added later by the selectmen due to an article that 2 articles that they added. So what's going to happen at town meeting is halfway through, it'll probably be adjourned to accommodate this additional special town meeting, which has 2 articles related to solar power, related to giving the selectmen authority to sign contracts up to 20 years to add solar power facilities to the CM&D garage. And the second was to authorize them to accept a payment in lieu of taxes as part of a contract. These advisory voted 8-0 on both articles to take no action, but it wasn't that we do not support solar power. We really think solar power is important, and we feel that this was an incomplete article and needed more time, so we feel strongly that it'll be coming back to us in the spring after there's been more discussion on it and maybe more broadening of the articles.
Right. Yeah, I think there have been articles in the past in which advisory has voted no action, largely because they want more information and the time frame just works out that you couldn't get it ready in time. But so this is pretty much everything that's going to be happening at the town meeting. Let's just once again let everyone know how to come down and how to get involved.
Absolutely. We want every citizen of Sherborn to come to town meeting on Monday, October 24th at 7 p.m. at Linquist Commons at the middle school and high school. Citizens' participation is very important, and we hope to see everybody there.
Great. Well, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.